This week at the NCPA Senior Fellow Pamela Villarreal and President and CEO Alan West teamed up to write an op-ed on the failures of the Great Society programs and their toll on Black America. It was published in the Washington Times, at the Drudge Report, and the findings were also published in a special report on public policies that hurt African Americans.
February is recognized as Black History Month in America. And having been raised in the old Fourth Ward neighborhood of Atlanta and attending elementary school right across the street from Dr. King's Ebenezer Baptist Church, this month has distinct meaning for me. I am reminded of the three principles of one Booker T. Washington: education, entrepreneurship, and self-reliance. He stated, if you can't read, it's going to be hard to realize dreams. And at the bottom of education, at the bottom of politics, even at the bottom of religion, there must be for our race economic independence. I wholeheartedly concur with Mr. Washington, and here at America's think tank, NCPA, we believe that as well. We believe it is the tide of a good quality education and policies that promote economic independence that lifts all boats. Let us remember the difference between a pursuit of happiness and a government that believes it can guarantee happiness.
A new study by senior fellow Devin Herrick reports that marriage is a luxury many couples can no longer afford.
The Obamacare exchange creates perverse incentives that subsidize unmarried couples more generously than if they were to marry. For instance, a young couple each earning about $23,000 annually would both qualify for a generous health insurance subsidy worth about $2,300 combined. But if they get married, their income rises as a percent of the poverty calculation from about 200% individually to nearly 300% of poverty for a family of two. This artificial jump in their poverty status would cost them nearly $1,500 annually.
The Washington Post published senior fellow John R. Graham's commentary on how domestic medical tourism could save us all money, and it went viral on the internet. Pam Villarreal's new study on how MyRA retirement accounts compare to IRAs found that young savers are far better served by traditional savings plans.
The MyRA is supposed to make it easy for young or intermittent savers to put aside money for retirement. It works like a Roth IRA. After-tax contributions are made to the account but can be withdrawn tax-free at retirement. Unfortunately, the only investment choice in a MyRA is Treasury bonds. For a young worker with 40 productive years before retirement, it isn't a wise choice to be solely invested in bonds that provide a lower rate of return than stock funds.
NCPA Legislative Director Brian Williams has details on a very busy week in Washington.
The House Ways and Means Subcommittee held a hearing this week examining poverty trends and challenges facing low-income families in today's economy. NCPA Senior Fellow Pam Villarreal submitted testimony for the record to the committee, explaining how government programs that were designed to alleviate poverty, in fact, often discourage wise choices, limit education opportunities, and create burdensome regulations, especially in the African American community. Of course, the best anti-poverty program is a job, and Congress has already started to examine comprehensive tax reform that will spur economic growth, potentially creating hundreds of thousands of new jobs. The Senate Finance Committee held a hearing this week with retired Senators Bob Packwood and Bill Bradley to examine how Congress addressed comprehensive tax reform back in 1986 and what they might learn from that experience as Congress proceeds going forward. And finally, Congress approved the bill to authorize construction of the Keystone Pipeline and send it to the White House, where the president has promised to veto the bill. But Republicans have vowed to bring it up later this year, perhaps as an amendment to an appropriations bill. So stay tuned for more news on the Keystone Pipeline in coming months.
It's your support that makes all the NCPA's work possible. From all of us at America's Think Tank, thank you.